I know I'm supposed to be doing a Shed Wars video, but I have a lot of zucchini. And I want to do some of that today. And I want to harvest all the onions at once. I need 2 cups of chopped onions for my zucchini relish. Since I want to harvest all of the onions at once, I'm going to harvest them today. I have some here that's still standing up, but the tops are all turned brown. And then from here on, the rest of the bed, they've all laid over. Now these were laying down for a couple of days. After the wind the last couple of days, then in this bed, now I've got most of the onions are laid over. I was watching a video that John from Will It Grow put out. What he does, he lets the onions fall over and then he lets them go completely dry before he actually harvests them. That way, he says, they're easier to take up because of course the roots are starting to disintegrate too. Now, thinking about our leaving the potatoes in the ground for 2 weeks after the plant dies, I was curious. I said, I wonder if onions actually enlarge for a while after the tops have folded over. Maybe by leaving them in the ground till everything else is dry, he actually gets bigger onions. So, you see here, I've got this one marked at number 1. I put them there, that marker, on August the 23rd. This was one of the first ones that folded over. It was 62 millimeters, 2 and 7/16 inches in diameter when I put it there. I measured again on September the 1st. It was 65 millimeters, 2 and 9/16 inches. So it grew an extra 3 millimeters in that 7 days. Now, a couple of days have gone by, and I have 66 millimeters. So since September the 1st, this is September the 5th now, it has grown another millimeter. I have 6 of these. Well, there's number 6. I couldn't find number 6 when I was out there measuring before. But number 2 was 56 millimeters on August the 23rd and 63 millimeters on September the 1st. So in a week after it had folded over, it grew, that would be 4, 5, 6, 7 millimeters. Number 3 was 56 millimeters on August the 23rd and 62 millimeters on September the 1st. So that was 6 millimeters it grew. Number 4 was 53 millimeters on August the 23rd and 56 millimeters. That one grew 3 millimeters in a week. Number 5 was 55 millimeters and 60 millimeters. And there's number 6 right there that I couldn't find. Let's see how wide that one is. $55 millimeters. It was 50 millimeters on August the 23rd. Today, September the 5th, it's 55 millimeters. So as I said, I'm going to leave those tags in and leave the onions in the ground until the tops dry completely and see how big those onions grow. The rest of the onions I'm taking out. These are Tropicana longa. This is what actually was mixed in with the Australian brown, was it, first ones? They are kind of a shallot type thing. But if my memory serves me correctly, they were called an onion. Now this is something that makes you wonder when you buy seeds. Here's a second one. Every other one is red, but I have, looks like 2 that are white. So I'm thinking that a seed from some other type of onion got mixed in. Now we'll go backwards. This is the conserva shallots. Some of them are fairly round. A lot of them are elongated like a shallot should be. And as I was saying, the Tropicana longa, this is what they looked like online when I looked at the picture. Elongated onion like that. And you can see how big they grew. There's quite a few there that size. So this is a wonderful harvest. And then I've got these 2 that are just, they grow the same shape, but they're white instead of red. Now we come up here to the, what are they? These are the Red Springs. I didn't get any onions this size last year, and this year I got, well, I'll say over half of them are this size. But what I've noticed was that some of them are a much darker color than others. So I don't know if it's they've maybe lost their outer skin, or is it a variation in the way the compost was put down? I don't know, but like I say, some are lighter in color than others are. These are the ones I've left in, and I accidentally, rushing around, pulled out number 2 and number 5. So the Australian brown onion, if you remember from the spring, I only had a small amount, but half as many as what the other ones I had. I did get a really nice big one here, and it's a flatter onion. That's the way that they are supposed to grow. All different sizes, which is to be expected. I'm happy with it. Not as happy as I am with the rest of them, but I'm happy with it. These are the red Wethersfield. They apparently are a little smaller onion. The bigger ones are like this. And they're a flat onion as well. Now, I don't know if I already said it, but I want to take these tops and cut them up and freeze them as green onion. I don't want to just let them dry out. So the plan is to cut them off like this, and this should be long enough when this dries up to seal off the onion, and my onion will store well. Plus I'll have this top frozen in the freezer for green onion. And these have had to do the best. This is Alyssa Craig. And there's so many big onions among here. Now, I told you in an earlier video, I was going to show you what happens if you let that beet grow to its full potential. This. The thing is huge. Dean from Dean's Lost the Plot over in the UK, he does giant onions. I'm looking at this thing and I said, I should start working on giant beets. I'll get my calipers here and see if I can still measure it. Across the narrow way, it's, see if I can get you to see that. So that would be 107 millimeters, or just under 4¼ inches. If I were to measure the other way, because it's kind of an oval shape, you see. Can't get it right down, but that's approximately 117 millimeters, which is 4.16, so 13/16, just over 4 and 3, little over 4.5 inches on the longest part of the oval. The thing is huge. I want to do a little walkabout because there are some onions around other places in the garden, and I don't know if I should collect seeds or what. Here's one with all the flowers now has been pollinated and it's closed up to grow the seeds. It's a red onion. Oh, leaf in the way. I could technically save seeds from that, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what variety it is. In this bed where I initially was just the black turtle beans I planted there, but I had some bunching onions grown and they did send up flowers, so I could save seed from that and have a bunching onion seeds here. And earlier the year, here he is, seen right here. Last year I put in Ambition onion seeds. This one sent up a flower stalk apparently, but this one didn't. And this is what your Ambition onions would look like if they grew. Now, the reason why I didn't get any last year is because they were such fast maturing ones. I said I'm going to plant them directly and see if I can get onions to grow when direct sown. And they never come to much, but some of them started, and then that's what I got this year. I don't know if there's any more. There was only those two that I seen. Down along the front there, as you might remember, there was several tiny onions that I didn't pull up last year, and they've all grown up, and now they're putting, the flowers have been pollinated and they're closing in to do their seeds. What I'm thinking I should do is, as an experiment, take those seeds when they get fully developed and sprinkle them along here, all the way along, right from one end of the fence right to the other, and see what happens next year. We're back on the deck now. I have my hanging scale set up here. I have some shopping bags saved from back in the days when we didn't have reusable shopping bags. I'm going to start with the Alyssa Cray. I'm going to weigh them tops and all because, well, I'm going to freeze the tops. So the entire thing is the weight of the harvest. And as John at Will It Grow would say, we know the bags don't weigh anything. That is just shy of 20 pounds, about 19 3/4. And what would it make it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kilograms, pretty much exactly. Now for Red Wethersfield. That gives us 5.5 kilograms, 12 pounds. Now for the Australian Brown, that's the one I had the least of. And we have 4 pounds. That's 2 kilograms. Now for the Red Spring. Little small ones I'm going to dehydrate right away. I'm not going to bother to store them because they're kind of awkward to deal with, so right away I'll put them in the dehydrator and make the onion powder out of them. And we have 19 pounds. That's 8.5 kilograms. Now these are Tropicana Longa. That's 13 pounds, just shy of 6 kilograms. Conserver shallots. We have 6.5 pounds, or 3 kilograms. Now to put those couple of hog balls into a bag and weigh them. The 2 Ambition shallots, and then the 2 white ones that was with the Tropicana Longa. Gives us 1/2 pound, or 1/2 kilogram. I think it's a good idea, since the garlics are cured now, and I've got the tops cut off, so this is the harvest. I separated them into 2 batches because these are the ones that I'm going to sow again. And these are for consumption. I kept the smaller ones for consumption like I said I was going to do, you see. There was 9 that were split. They're still in the house. So, I'll zoom in on this now. See that we've got 7 pounds, and there's about maybe a pound in the house, so 8 pounds of garlic. It's the next morning in the dining room now. I used 7 of my Australian brown onion last night to mix up a batch of zucchini relish, which is currently just on the stove simmering now for half an hour. So what I'm going to do, as I said, for the rest of them, and by the way, I had some that split. I wonder if I can get a, you see? I'm assuming that is as well due to the change in weather from very dry to very wet. But it is what it is now. That the outside layer that's showing there now, that will dry as well. So I'm going to take the tops and leave a bit on like that. Cut off the dried up parts on the end. Cut them in little pieces like that. And this is a 12 pound, I could do with a 10 pound bread bag I've got put in a jug here, so I'll put a jug full in each bread bag. I can stuff them down, so I can put quite a lot in here. Got the Australian browns done, but I'll finish filling up this bag and I'll put it in the freezer just like that. Now it's Monday morning. Like I said with the garlic, now I lay them out there for a while to let them dry and cure, for want of a better place. Cut the green tops off, leaving a neck so that it would seal up. And when I got that done, I ended up with Alyssa Craig at 15.5 pounds. The Australian brown, I have 3.5 pounds there. That is estimating for the other 7 that I used. Red Wethersfield was 8 pounds. Conserva shallots was 4.5 pounds. Tropicana Lunga was 8.5 pounds. And the Red Spring was 14 pounds. The onion tops was 15 pounds. And I had 8 pounds of garlic. Well, thanks for watching. That's the onion harvest. And I guess I better go and do a Shed Wars video now. See you in the next one.